YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Hello and welcome to the Damm Slap Podcast, Season 3. Today I am joined by a fan of the show and a fellow skateboarder, Victor Sizaret, everybody.
Yo.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, first of all, how are you, man?
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. How about you?
Oh, good, man.
Nice.
You've been skating a lot?
Yeah, it's been, I say, 6 years of skateboarding.
Wow. But first I would want to ask, could you give me some basic information about yourself? So, where you come from? Well,
Yeah, it's pretty, most people say it's pretty crazy.
Ooh, I'm ready.
So, I'm French. So, my dad's French, and I'm German. My mom's German. And I've lived in Portugal for like the past 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And I kind of traveled like all around Europe. So I was born in Paris, then I went to Amsterdam, then I went to Turin, Italy,
Yes.
and then I went to Porto, Portugal.
Wow. So you really traveled across Europe majority of your life. But so what culture would you say adapts to you best?
I mean, at this point, definitely Portuguese culture. I mean, I've lived there 10 years, so I kind of grew up there also. So yeah.
Would you say, like, out of all the cultures that you've been exposed to, so Portugal would be, or the Portuguese culture is the one that attracts you the most. Would you say that that's the one you adapted to best? Or?
Oh yeah, I definitely adapted myself to it. Like, it's not like the Portuguese culture isn't the culture that I identify, but it's like the most like approachable culture that I have. But then, like, because I'm all international, like,
exactly.
I kind of don't really have a culture, maybe.
I mean, where did you live in France for a while, or?
I mean, yeah, I was born there, so I lived there 1 year. But then, like, my grandparents also lived there, so I go there every year. So I don't really live there. But yeah.
Language-wise, like, I assume you speak French?
Yes.
You speak English,
Yes.
and then any other?
German and Portuguese.
Oh, so you really adapted the whole way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so you speak French with your grandparents then?
Yeah.
And then do you use German often?
German's only with my mom.
Okay.
And then French with my dad and my two older brothers.
And, well, Portuguese, I guess, every once in a while.
Yeah, Portuguese, yeah.
Because that's, I guess that happens to people. Like, I get the international background, so I've seen it a lot in my experience, and a lot of people that are like, I identify with this culture, but I speak this language, and at home I'm exposed to this culture with this language, and it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
But what would you say about the Dutch culture? Would you say you have adapted to it well?
I mean, I've been here since January. I mean, like in the Netherlands, you speak English. I think it's like the second most common language. So language-wise, I haven't really adapted to it because I'm like, oh, I can just use English.
Exactly, yeah.
But I really want to get into it. But then, yeah, I mean, in general, Dutch culture,
Half.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, from an international standpoint, a lot of people say that it's meh, but at the same time, it's like, I've been here for 10 years. That's why it's like the juxtaposition. But yeah, I've been here for 10 years, so it's like I've adapted to their mentality, but it's very different than the Southern European mentality.
It is.
So like from an Italian point of view, when, like, for example, money has nothing to do with anything, you know, it's like in Italy, it's like, you never even mention money, you never mention about paying for someone else's stuff, like you just do it, right? Here it's more like they tell you and then they do it, which is like, it's just a cultural difference, right? But it's like in Italy, if you say it, it's kind of like, you know, it's like, you're doing me a favor. But here it's like the opposite. It's like, hey, I'm doing it just to tell you, but then I'm doing it. Like, if it's fine by you, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a completely different mentality.
But also, like, the northern cultures, like, people tend to say Nordic people are like cold. And I mean, I once went to a school field trip to Berlin.
Oh, nice. I love Berlin.
It was like in the 11th grade, I think. Yeah. And I went there with my like Portuguese colleagues and friends, and they all said that when we would go into the metro, people would just like be cold, like they thought that they were just like so boring, you know.
I mean, because people are so used to being isolated, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm a business person. I do this. This is my job. This is who I am. This is my family. This is it, right?
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, that's also one of the main reasons why we got this podcast, is to share several ideas, right? So that people are exposed to more mentalities, and the more the merrier in that sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But you said you came to Rotterdam, right?
Yeah.
A month ago? Or a year ago, in almost January?
Half a year.
Half a year, yeah. Time flies.
Yeah.
But what was your main reason for coming to Rotterdam to study?
Yeah, I mean, my older brother, he actually also studied at Erasmus. And so that kind of motivated me. Like also like the ranking of the school, like was pretty interesting. But then also like my first memories were from like Amsterdam, and so I really liked like Amsterdam, and I assumed Rotterdam would be the same. Like the culture and like the stroopwafels, you know.
That's exactly all the clones. Yeah, that's true. Actually, the style is very similar.
Yeah.
But would you have chosen to live in Amsterdam if you had the chance?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
I think the main thing that attracts me is like that's very different from like Southern European countries, is that here like they really use the bicycle like as the main.
Yes.
Like it's I think there's actually more kilometers of bike pathways than actually cars.
Which is I think I've heard that too, but I'm not sure. There's probably going to be a fact check on the screen right now. But ultimately, I mean, the biking culture is cool. It's a very green environment, but it's like, what made Rotterdam stand out to you as like a place? Because I mean, you know, the Netherlands is filled with crazy good universities, right? Where there's Leiden, there's UvA, there's Erasmus, right? But what was it about Erasmus in Rotterdam itself that attracted you most?
I mean, definitely the city. Like I think Rotterdam is like from the Netherlands, like the city of business.
Yes,
and so, like, it's modern and then super artsy. Like there's this street right around.
Witte de Witstraat? Is it like this, the one with the Andy Warhol writing that says everyone's going to be famous for 15 minutes?
Probably, yeah.
But there's so many, to be honest, you're right.
Yeah. I actually went there once. So I was just biking and I really liked the street. And there was these two guys like having a smoke break. Probably two guys that were working, they probably had a studio or something.
Just vibing.
And then I have this mentality. It's just like just say yes to everything, and like every opportunity that you have, just take it, you know. So that you don't live with regret. And so I just told myself, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to these guys, you know. And so I just went, like I parked my bicycle and I approached these two guys on their smoke break, and I was like, yo, what up?
What's up?
I was just like I asked him, yo, what's this street all about? Like, I'm super interested in it. I'm really into art and like designing stuff. Do you guys happen to do that here? And then we had like this 30-minute conversation. Just like, oh yeah, I come from here. This is what we do. And there were two guys. One was like a 3D animation like creator.
Oh wow, I love that.
Yeah, and then there was a guy. He was a sound designer. And I actually like went to their studio and stuff. So like,
you met friends essentially, colleagues, potential colleagues.
Yeah.
So you still have the, what was it, happy-go-lucky mentality, like the I'll go wherever it goes, but I'll still do it.
Yeah.
That's epic, actually. I love that. But so I know you're a skateboarder. I've had the pleasure of skating with you a couple of times. I hope more. But why did you start skating?
So in Portugal, I would start surfing. So I started surfing when I was 12 years old.
Oh wow, so it's been a while.
Yeah. And so when I would not surf, I would skate. It's not, it's kind of the same motion.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I snowboarded before I skated. That's why it's like I understand what you mean. But one thing about it, like I'm pretty good at snowboarding. I'm decent at skateboarding. Surfing, man, I fucking suck.
Yeah. No, it's
really. It's
nice.
such a different thing, but at the same time, I get what you mean. Like once you're on it, the motion itself seems similar, but like seeing people on Instagram, like, man, it's insane.
No, it's crazy.
How's the skate culture in Portugal?
I think it's really grown over the years. Especially there's this really known skateboarder, Gustavo Ribeiro, I think.
Gustavo Ribeiro.
Yeah.
I love that guy, but he's Brazilian, isn't he?
I think but he
lives
in Portugal, and
that's
like
true.
he has his own like personal skate design from Chart. And like it's really grown. The one thing that's kind of like a shame is that in Porto, so in the north, there's not a lot of skate parks. Like they just built the first official skate park. Like it launched a year ago. So
okay.
Like, but in the south they have a lot of skate parks, especially because of like all of the surfing culture.
Yes.
Like if you don't surf, you skate, and then you go skate over there.
I mean, and what about the surf culture in Portugal? Because Portugal is one of the lead, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's almost, because I know, I'm not a surfer, but from what I know that the south of France is a hotspot for surfers.
Yeah.
Portugal, right? The coast and everything is a hotspot. And then the States, right? There's a few spots.
Yeah.
But how does the culture in Portugal go? So like you go to the beach, like, and you see a bunch of surfers. Would you like approach them and make friends, or are people like, I'm in my mode, I'm in my set?
Yeah, I mean, that really depends on the surfer. You have like, I'd say you have two kinds of surfers. You have the ones that are like, this is my thing, I don't talk to anybody, like I'm surfing, I'm trying to do my best. And then you have the guys who are just trying to have fun. And like, the cool thing about surfing is that when you're in the water, you all share the same sport, like the same values.
Yes.
So you can talk to a complete stranger like, yo, that wave was dope. And then like, compliment each other and then like friendships. That's pretty cool.
That's amazing though. That's amazing. But have you surfed? When was the last time you surfed?
So it was right like I think it was the same day I took like the plane to come here.
Oh wow, so you're right.
It was end of December. Yeah.
That's a bit cold.
Yeah, but I remember it was super cold.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, I went surfing once and it was like, it was also October, November. I remember that because I had the suit, right? I don't even know what it's called, but it's like
the wetsuit.
Yeah, the wetsuit. There you go. And I was just, I was thinking, okay, people do it all the time. It's probably normal. Go in the water. I was freezing.
Yeah,
but like, I get what you mean though. Once you're in the water and like you're just alone with your board, that's all you got. So it's kind of like, it's either do it or don't, go hard or go home.
It's you versus nature, basically.
That's true. But so what would you say your skate journey would be like? So you started skating, were you already like, because of surfing, were you already used to like the balance and everything? Or did you struggle initially to get adapted to it?
I think I actually first started skating.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you went.
Yeah, so I started skating the same summer that I started surfing. I remember I was in Berlin, like I had done a trip with my family, and I just saw these two kids in front of me. I was like, 11 probably. And they were just like, they had a cruiser and they were just turning. And I don't know, like, I just remember this scene and I told my parents, yo, on a skateboard,
Hell yeah.
And it just,
That was a life-changing decision, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about the skate culture, first in the Netherlands and then in Rotterdam specifically?
Yeah, I think in the Netherlands, there's a lot more skate parks than in Porto, for example. So that's pretty dope. And I think also people kind of like maybe have the different mindset. So like if you go to the skate park, it's a whole different vibe than in Portugal. So that's pretty interesting.
That's actually, because I used to skate in The Hague, so another city in the Netherlands, and it's like, there it's more, I would never message anyone about going to skate, but I would always meet everybody, right? It's like an unknown, it's like an unspoken rule, right? It's like,
you just know they're there.
Yeah, like one of my closest friends in skate, I skated with him for like a year and a half, I think. And the entire time, like if you go on our WhatsApp chat, there's probably 3 messages like, yo, are you doing anything? Oh, cool, this. But I skated with him almost every single day for like half a year, and then the rest was just like occasional. But it's more like we just meet at the park. Like there's like a whole entire culture to it. Have you established this culture in Rotterdam yet? Like the culture of the skate friends?
I mean, I don't. Not really. I mean, we're in this group, and then sometimes people are like, "Yo, let's meet up at skate." But like just going to the skate park and meeting people that I've already seen doesn't really happen that much. But I try to like interact with the people. Like this other day, I had my little analog camera.
Oh, nice!
And like I was just trying to make some shots of the buildings, and then just this dude with like he approaches me and like, "Yo, are you into analog and stuff?" And we just started talking, and like I'll probably see him like again at the skate park, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, making friends in a sport for me is essential. Like I'm not really the team sport type guy. Like I played basketball a lot. Like I just enjoyed specific sports. But with skating, it's more like you're in a team whether you like it or not. Like when you're skating, it's like once you start skating properly and you get to the point where like you're comfortable doing anything, just trying new stuff. That's when like it doesn't matter who you're with, as long as like I don't know, as long as you're surrounded by people who inspire you, and then you inspire them. Because I learned in those 6 months, I learned how to skate like for real, because I was watching these people who were way better than me. You know?
That's another thing. Like I can like totally identify with that. Like in Portugal, I would surf, and every time there would like a pro surfer like from southern Portugal, because most pro surfers come from the south. Like every time there would be a pro surfer in the water, I like surf like 10 times how I would usually surf. Like he's in front of me and you just want to be like, yeah, I'm gonna impress you, and so that boosts your confidence, and you actually like, learn a lot from that.
I mean, when you were surfing, did you start with lessons? Like, did you get?
Oh yeah.
Because that's the thing. It's like I've heard it from a lot of surfers that it's like if you don't get like lessons at the beginning, you're probably not gonna understand like the whole picture of it. Which is like for me it was weird, because skating, like I don't think anybody can learn it on their own. I mean, it's hard, of course, but you could learn it. It's more like with surfing, when I was trying it, like if I didn't have the advice of my friends, it would have taken me 3 hours to just stand on the board, you know?
I think because like in surfing, it's much easier to do mistakes, because you know you have to properly balance. So you can easily put all of your weight on the back foot and not even notice it, and you're like, why am I surfing so bad? So you really kind of need an external like point of view to really teach you like just your position.
Would you film yourself, like as if you're surfing and like you're with friends? Would you ask them to film you?
I mean, sometimes they would film me from the beach, and sometimes I would use a GoPro.
That's the best way. But I say that because sometimes I would try a trick on my board and like miss it, and then they film it. And I see exactly why I missed the trick, and it's like just seeing it, you know, helps a billion times more than just doing the trick over and over and missing it again and again and again. I mean, of course you're gonna land it, but seeing it on screen, you can be like, oh, if I just did that, it would have been done. Like I would be over with this trick and it would have been gone. Is there like a specific trick in surfing that you're trying to get now? Or if you go back, you would be trying to get it.
So the air reverse. So you know, like surfing, and you like kind of jump. You gotta do like a rotation and like.
Yeah, because I saw a guy. There's so many clips. I mean, it's so amazing. Every time I see like, because I follow this page that posts all board sports, right?
Yes.
So they put like surfing, extreme surfing as well. There's some people that just. Like the board is heavy, all right. Like I'm not gonna lie, like it's not the lightest thing ever. So
I think it depends.
Oh, okay.
Beginner boards are really heavy because you need the volume, like because you don't have much balance. But high performance boards are usually smaller and lighter.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, but to me it's still amazing because the guy did like a 360, like back throwing his shoulder, and it was so amazing because he used the wave to hop out, right? He did the 360, landed on it, and pushed to continue. That's what weirds me out, because in skating, like you land on the trick and you know the board is gonna roll, right? But the guy landed and he already was pumping so that he would stay at float. So it's like, I get what you mean, but it's so impressive to me. Like it just looks amazing. It is amazing because like skating, you can try on a curb forever. right? The curb is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But the wave, like you gotta wait for it, you gotta feel it, you gotta understand when it's coming. The whole process, and then if you fuck up once in the process, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Definitely interesting. But I know, as a matter of fact, that you've traveled a lot, right? As you expressed before, you've been traveling across. Have you ever traveled to other continents than Europe?
No, I never left Europe.
That's
but
cool.
I really want to, like, I want to do a gap year, just like go to Asia and do like travel around with like one backpack.
Hell yeah. Would you travel to Vietnam?
Yes. Why
Yeah.
not?
So you would do a whole lap around Asia, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
What would be the spot that you want to go see, like, more than anything in Asia?
I mean, I haven't really thought about it. I just know I want to take my backpack, take like a couple of thousands of euros.
Yeah, surviving. You know, you gotta survive. Yeah, that's
yeah.
true. That's epic. Because I mean, I've been asking a lot of guests what their dream spot to be is, and a lot of people have also suggested Asia as well, because it's amazing, right? There's so many cultures that to Europeans are so wild, but like when you're there, you realize how your culture is wild.
Yeah.
Right? So it's super amazing. It's such an amazing feeling. For me, I think I shifted my choice to South Korea.
South Korea.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
It just, I don't know why, like they just attract me, like the way they function, the way they advertise, for example, the way they do a lot of stuff. It's so like over the top amazing.
Yeah.
That sort of level. Like I'm a fan of like Japanese adverts, you know, the super strange random ads. Like there's gonna be some examples on screen, but like, you know, like you watch them and you're like, I don't know what you're selling, but I am amazed.
I'm going to buy that. You know, I have no idea what you're selling, but you convinced me.
But to be honest, like Khoi, my man, he brings me like Vietnamese coffee, right? And it's like traditional Vietnamese coffee, and it's so good. But the packaging has one thing that kills me every time I see it. It says coffee 3-in-1. There's a businessman, there's a businesswoman, and a helicopter. That's it. I'm not joking. It's one of the best. But it's like, the thing is, if you looked at the package, you wouldn't know it's coffee.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And that's to me, that's amazing, because it's like product placement. Nah, none of that. None of that. Not even on the packaging at this point. I love it. But to get full circle, I mean, we've spoken about a lot of cultures that you have encountered. So, you know, all the past cultures, your origins. We've spoken about the skater culture as well. Would you say that all of these cultures helped you in the making of the design that you have in mind? Because for those who don't know, I think I could call you a graphic designer, right? I don't want to miscall people. Like I happened in season 1, I called someone an Instagram model. That was awkward. But I mean, as a graphic designer, like, do you implement things that you learned on the way, or is it always reinventing yourself?
I mean, I don't have like a lot of experience in it. Like I started during quarantine last year. Like I really wanted to get into Photoshop, and I just did it. But yeah, I mean, I try to implement as much as creativity as possible in my things, in my projects, and I also use pictures. Like if I just see a cool thing or like a cool shot, I just take a picture and then kind of modify it.
I mean, because when I went through your Instagram, which is also going to be on screen, it's more like there's an underlying style, but all of them are like different. You could distinguish each piece from the other. Yeah. And that's what I mean. That's the hard part, in my opinion, for any graphic designer, because I mean, surely you can make one design that's cool, but then if you copy paste it in a way, right? Like you just continuously milk it, then it's different. But if you have a style and then you build on top of the style, I think that's the best way to go forth. So you said you would just look at images. If you see an image that attracts you, you would take it and just kind of modify it in a way that makes you happy. How long would you say it takes you to be satisfied with a piece?
That's a tricky question. I mean, I don't know. Like, it really depends. Like you have to keep into account like lighting, and then colors, and then should I put some noise, like little dots? should I maybe put a cover filter, like a plastic texture? And so for like one project that you would normally need, like I'd say 6 or 5 like different images to kind of put it all together. From like maybe 50 images that I would search on Google, I would only choose these 5, and you always have to try everything, so it really takes some time.
Yes, I think my cameraman of choice can definitely confirm that. I mean, how long would you say it takes you to edit like a thumbnail, for example?
A thumbnail would take me, so to make it from like the base, it would take me at least 15 minutes to find the right colors and like the overlay pattern in the background, and another like 30 minutes to cut out the person from different images and put them in the same frame together. And so normally it would take me 1 hour to make everything from the start, but then afterwards it would take me like at least 5 to 10 minutes to do for the other episodes.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like I had projects where I needed like 45 minutes. I've had projects where I took like 4 days on.
Yes.
It really depends.
Because I mean, that's the thing. It also, I mean, would you do graphic designing for specific companies?
I don't really know. I mean, I think a person who studies graphic design probably would be approached in the first place. Like I just started doing it as a hobby. I was gonna study it, but then I decided to go to Erasmus. But I mean, yeah, if I get more experience out of it, I would definitely do some stuff for companies.
Nice. I mean, because I asked that because a lot of people, like with hobbies, I don't know, for me it's the same, right? It's like what I consider a hobby is completely a hobby and only a hobby, right? So when I skate, I don't think about like, I'm gonna be the best skater. Like I don't care at all about who's in this park. As long as I have fun, like doing the weirdest things that I can possibly do, I'm fine. But if it were a job, I would hate it, right? But with graphic designing, that's the thing. It's like, it takes so much effort, and if you love doing it, it's like the best thing ever, right? Getting the final product. But once you have it, it's almost like, what do I do with it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I created this Instagram page, and it was for my general projects. And I had this goal of posting every 3 days, and so at the end, like, I would force myself to like keep the schedule, but then I realized I was kind of forcing myself to create stuff, and the stuff wouldn't really be that aesthetic, or I wouldn't really like it. I just would post it for just posting it.
Yeah, I mean, then it becomes a job if you have a schedule. Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
I mean, technically, this podcast production is a hobby, right?
Yeah.
We have a tight schedule. So what do we call this?
Do what you love.
Yeah, do what you love. Yeah. That's what we call it. Nice. I mean, insofar, I am amazed. Like I love everything that you've mentioned. There's only one last thing that I would want to say. Well, actually 2. So it's all in terms of Erasmus.
Okay.
So the university in Rotterdam. Like, do you like the uni culture that we have in Erasmus? I mean, not that we have been on campus, but like...
I definitely joined Erasmus first because of the culture and like all the international aspect. Like it's the one thing that made me not go into graphic design, because I wanted to meet as much as people as possible, and like I'm succeeding. Like I just
exactly guys, all of us. That's
like,
true.
I saw your post. I just said no. Yes, all right.
I mean, that is epic. But why did you choose IBA then, which is a business administration course?
I mean, first of all, for the rankings, and then also my older brother, he did it, and the way he presented it to me was kind of attractive. Yes. So I just went with it.
But do you enjoy the course?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Like, sometimes I try to imagine that I have a company to put interest in the courses, because I think it can easily get boring for some people. So you gotta put the interest in the courses.
I mean, the thing is, we do, like, the vast majority of my team does IBCOM, which is a media course, communication and media.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the first year is a lot of theory, right? So if you like the theory behind communication, is the easiest thing ever. Because it's like, it's like, if you understand it, it's so nice, right? The problem is, if you don't like theory, but you like the communication process, then relearning the theory kind of molds your process. So it's like super weird. I've seen some people where like they critique the study, right? Yeah. But they are actually good performing like members of a company. Like the way they communicate or the way they do things is super optimized. It's more like the theory behind it. They don't like, they choose not to grasp it entirely, I guess. Which I guess is an interesting thing. I don't know. Just for anyone who wants to apply to IPCOM in the future years, just know that there's definite international mindset. We can all agree. Good study, good ranking, whatever. Uni is nice. I would recommend Erasmus, like 8 out of 10.
Why not 9?
Well, first of all, I wasn't on campus, so I can't really say much. I like the Erasmus campus. It's super nice, super cool. I would love to skate there. There's so many spots. There's so many spots. They have too much security. Don't arrest me, please.
But I think there's like this ramp, and I see wax on it. So I guess someone's already skated there.
I mean, I can't say the spot on camera because they're gonna ruin the spot. But there's a garage, and it's indoor, and you can skate there at night.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
I will show you. But definitely very interesting. So what we like to do towards the end of the podcast is I just ask random questions, and then you just kind of answer them as best as you can.
Okay.
So, first of all, what is your favorite music artist or musician right now? Not right now, not your favorite of all time, just right now.
I mean, I don't have a favorite one. I'm not, like if an album comes out of this specific artist, I'm not going to like all of his songs probably. Yes. I just focus on the songs, not really the artist. And so I really like Foster the People.
Oh yeah, actually yes.
But I mean, I also like Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden.
Yeah, well, while skating, it's just it's an entire world shift right there. Like, but so for you, music is more a mood, like a vibe.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's the same for me because a lot of my friends always ask me like, what's your genre? What's your favorite genre? Right? If you go through my liked playlist on Spotify, there is no pattern at all. Like like there's a Vietnamese music from 1975, and then there's exactly, and it's like the banging tunes, but completely different than how people expect it, and then of course like extremely different stuff. So I mean, for me, I don't know. It's about the moment.
Exactly. Yeah. For me, it's like the melody. Just the sound. If it vibe, I like it.
Okay. So it doesn't matter whether it's pop or like any, whether it's popular culture or like hyped stuff, as long as it makes you happy.
Yeah, as long as it makes me moving, yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, the next question is it's a challenging one, but whatever. It says, what era would you time travel to? You could also travel to the future, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the question doesn't specify.
I would travel. Could I live there? Or would I have to
you
back?
would have to stay there.
Forever?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would definitely go like 30 years back.
30 years back?
Maybe 40. Because I'm all into like retro tech right now.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
I'm crazy about it right now.
I mean, I've been seeing all these videos about like how people used to dress in like the 70s, 80s, 90s, and it's like, it's super cool, but at the same time, it's like you had to be there, to really get it. Because I mean, right now people have the specific style, right? And it's like, it's a conformist style. Like you see all the people like conforming to the specific style. Like on Instagram, I keep seeing these videos, like these reels about people like, oh yeah, he'd be vibing. And it's like a guy wearing like the most stock outfit ever, just like gray t-shirt, black pants, white shoes. And you're like, come on, dude. Like, I mean, and he's like, you should try this fit. He's valid or something. And I'm like, dude, what do you mean? Like, it's the most basic. And that's what I mean. It's like, for me, it would rather, I don't know if it's a style thing. I would have to go, I would have to go with the 90s just because like my sister has some culture that I just will never have.
Yeah.
Right, the early 90s kids. That's pretty cool. And I could actually relate to mid-90s, the movie.
Yeah.
So that's one cool thing. This question I asked in season 1, this is a while back, but I love this question so much because of the answer we got back then. But you guys will understand. If you had to choose one food to eat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It's a tough one. Does it have to like?
Oh no, you won't die, by the way. Like it can be like I don't know, a wedding cake. Like if you eat wedding cake every day, surely you're gonna die, right? Normally, but in this question, you wouldn't. It's just about eating that food every day.
Definitely not junk food.
Yeah, I would say.
I've heard people, they work like at McDonald's or they eat McDonald's for a week, then they just can't have it anymore, you know?
It's true.
I mean, I'll probably have like veggies, like stir-fried food. I don't know.
That is it. I mean, definitely better than the answer we got last time. yeah.
What did you get last time?
It's gonna be on video. This is gonna be on mute now. But it says he just Alex Fontani just goes.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And I mean, the last question is this one's actually insane. But if you had to change anything in the path of your like last 5 years, what would it be?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No.
Yeah, because of your mentality.
Everything happens for a reason. Just go with it.
Good. I mean, ultimately, like, that is a good mentality because it lets you go forward, right?
Yeah.
But would you say that, like, you've met more people with this mentality?
Yeah,
like,
no,
you
for
just
sure.
always, like, push yourself to meet people?
I always try to do an effort. Like the other day I was in the train and there was this guy right next to me. And you know, usually you're in the train, people like listen to music or on their phone.
Yeah.
This guy was next to me. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't listening to music. Like he was available for a talk. And I was like for 10 minutes trying to, like I told myself, yo, Victor, like, you never know if this guy is your next business partner and he might be the key for you becoming a millionaire. I don't know. So I just went with it and we had like a 15-minute conversation. Super interesting guy. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm like when I tell people these stories, they're like, oh, you must be super comfortable talking to people. But really, like, no, I spent 10 minutes trying to come up with a relevant subject to like start a conversation.
Yeah, because I mean, that was going to be my question because I mean, bringing yourself to do something like that, like to talk to people that are complete strangers that have no obligation to talk to you, right? Because that ultimately it's all about that, right? It's about initiating a conversation and having the other person be willing to talk back. Yeah. And it's like sometimes, for example, I remember I would talk to someone at a bus station and they would just be like,
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, never mind, have a nice day, you know? Like it's sometimes it's really awkward. But I mean, what you said is really profound. Like, people do believe that, some people are just open-minded. Some people are just talkative. It's like, yeah, but even those people, right, they have to push themselves to do something. I mean, does it come to you naturally now? Like when you see someone like just chilling by themselves, you just kind of go like, oh, I have time? Okay, I'll talk to this guy.
Yes.
Yeah?
But then like, I still think, like, I still have like my body still is like, oh wait, literally, like maybe don't do that, like maybe it'll be awkward, maybe you'll mess all of this up. But then I always like imagine myself, when was the last time that it was really awkward and it was like the worst experience of your life? The answer to that is like never.
Oh, that's good. That's
So,
good.
like,
Okay.
so like I just go with it and I just keep that in mind.
I mean, damn, I was gonna ask you what your worst experience. So you never had a bad, like, not a bad encounter, but more like just like you go there and they're super not bothered by anything. They're just like, whatever, shoot.
No, not really.
No? Okay, that's good actually. We should probably start talking to people randomly.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to do, right? We could.
Yeah.
But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I am glad to say that this was a very dope podcast. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. And I'll see you guys in the next one. There's going to be a like button below. just for us, made by YouTube. So you guys can click that. And there's also going to be a comment section in case you guys want to ask Victor any questions. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them on Instagram?
Yeah.
Just Instagram?
That's the
nice.
page.
Then you contact him on Instagram if you want, or hit him up for a job. Graphic designing, what do you know?
Yeah.
It's his passion. Check it out. The page is going to be on as well because it's really cool. It's really cool. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Guys, thank you so much, man. That was dope.
Yeah.